Men are completely aware of modern women's false accusations.
Fired a can girl. So one girl drank too much wine. She threw up everywhere. I told her to clean up. She started giving me some attitude. And one bad apple ruins a bunch. So I took all her shit, threw out the window. Let's get the fuck out of my house. Because she's an English girl. Starts like threatening me.
You can't do this. Yeah.
I'm a professional fighter. I'm not gonna hit. I don't need to punch a girl. I very calmly, her stuff's already out the window. She's fully dressed. Got her 2 arms, took her ass, put her outside my door, closed the door. That was the end of it. She started texting me, you owe me my wages. You owe me £1,000. I was like, you ruined my carpet, so I ain't giving you nothing. 3 months later, 5 o'clock in the morning, my house was raided. And she went to the police and said that I attacked her and I was abusing girls and forcing them to work. That's because I didn't pay her £1,000. So my house was raided at 5 a.m. I was arrested. I was put in a police cell for 36 hours. My house was forensically searched. My phone, laptop, everything was taken. At the time, there was 9 other girls in the house, and none of those girls turned on me. All 9 went to the police on my side and said she was lying. It still took me 2 years to beat that case.
Anytime a woman claims assault and she cannot prove it, she should get the maximum that he would have gotten if he was convicted. Her word alone is not grounds for an arrest, charge, or court. Watch the sheer number of claims drop like a rock. For bosses and HR, make dang sure that everything is videoed and audio recorded. Everything.
On the court system here in the UK, and I was interviewing this guy. He works for, it's called Fathers for Justice, and they help men get custody of their kids. And one thing I found out is in the UK, you are actually given a free counsel, which is a lawyer basically, if you accuse your husband of abuse. And what the women can do is they can accuse the guy of abuse and file a restraining order against him even if he did nothing. And if he breaks that, he actually goes to jail. And it can take 1 to 2 years to even get the kid back. So he could have a newborn and not see the kid for 2 years over a false allegation.
I live in Finland, and my kid's mom is Finnish. She accused me on 3 separate occasions, always just before the summer, when the social workers are not really working that much, that I had scared my kids, and she was scared for them of being with me. Now, obviously, they have to investigate that, and by the time the investigation was done, it was end of the summer, and she had the kids the entire summer.
I reject the notion that Me Too was started for good reasons. Women sleeping with producers, CEOs, etc., in exchange for money or high-paying positions is not them being victimized. That's them being sellouts and cheating other more deserving women out of those opportunities. Every single Me Too accuser should have been put in jail for selling themselves.
In my life experience, I've definitely seen men be more violent towards women, and I haven't ever seen a woman be violent towards her partner.
I've seen girls hit guys and nobody does anything.
I haven't seen that. And what kind of hit? Like a little knock on the shoulder, or like...
Any hit is unacceptable, and if you hit a man, you should expect to get hit back. Why would you hit someone and not expect to get hit back? Why are women special? Why do we get a special privilege that men don't get?
Women will never be held accountable for their actions. They can do whatever they want with no consequences. If you make them mad or don't give them everything they want, you go to jail. Strong and empowered means getting whatever you want and making the men pay for it.
Though the prosecution continued to insist on his guilt, there was no DNA, no firearm, and no forensic evidence presented linking Viegas to the shooting.
If the defendant will please stand.
Within moments, he'll find out if he goes home with his family or spends the rest of his life in prison.
In the District Court of El Paso County, Texas, 409th Judicial District, the State of Texas versus Daniel Viegas, number 94-0D09328. Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant, Daniel Viegas, not guilty of...
It's crazy and ironic how all these women are falsely accusing men and screaming misogyny and oppression, yet at the same time so many of them are sleeping with and having affairs with their supervisors, managers, and especially bosses, mostly to get promotions and get ahead of everyone else. This is why you gotta avoid them at all costs, no matter how friendly or nice they may be. Protect yourself at all times, fellas. It's not worth losing everything over any woman.
Why are men afraid of being falsely accused? Just stay indoors. Don't put yourself in situations like these. Don't drink. Dress modestly so that women don't mistaken y'all for predators. Stay home, especially during night, so you don't stand a chance to appear threatening. Problem solved.
Cut the sarcasm, lady. It isn't working. Women love to create drama, where there is none, just for the attention. The lives she destroys are irrelevant. If a guy is looking for trust and love, get a dog. If you want a relationship with a woman, do everything in your power to protect yourself, as there is an 80% chance it will end in an extremely disastrous way for the guy. If it is to be anywhere near justice for this guy, she should get 5 years in prison. Women will never get the punishment that they deserve when lying against a guy.
I am being put out of my house. I am being accused of abusing my wife. To the judges that allow this to happen, I hope one day you find yourself in the courtroom where you served, where you were supposed to uphold justice. I hope one day you will be falsely accused and have your reputation tarnished, have your property taken from you, have your children kept from you. I really hope that this happens to you.
It's getting to the point that people are asking if segregated workspaces are the answer. It's gotten that bad. Men on one side, with male managers only, and the same on the women's side. Contact through office phone, email, and corporate phones, and no closed-door meeting with the opposite gender. Lunch and coffee areas, corporate amenities, probably separate wings, parking areas, same things. I don't think we're at that level yet, but if this continues, it could happen. HR can now be done through AI. That might become the norm.
Handle false accusations with confidence using these tips. Stay professional, keep records, know your rights, find witnesses, seek legal support, stay focused, and mind your body language.
Not only are companies thinking twice about hiring women because they aren't worth the risk, but single men are thinking twice about marrying, dating, or even approaching women because they are not worth the risk. It has gotten to the point that men need to have a body cam on for their own protection anytime they interact with a woman. When making a judgment on the false accusation, the court should weigh up the charges as if it were a real case, then add a minimum of 5 years, and have that as the base of the sentence. In addition to this, as part of parole, if granted, or release the false accuser, should go on a list that can be easily accessed. No disrespect, but this is why women feel that they can throw around false accusations as they please. The penalty for such a heinous action is practically nothing. Meanwhile, men, literally, lose their lives over such false accusations, even when there is evidence present to prove their innocence. Misandry is socially acceptable amongst women. I've heard women at work loudly shouting, "Men are useless," and you can't call them out on it. During my career, most of the problems I've known have been with female colleagues. A woman I knew once stormed out in tears because someone told her I said something about her I didn't say. She actually left her place of employment in the middle of the day with no consequences. There needs to be accountability for false accusations. If it's found out that a woman is lying about an assault accusation, then she needs to face the same punishment that the man would have received, as well as financial compensation for lost income, even if her parents' house has to be sold to do it. That way, the authorities can have more confidence while addressing the claims, because one way or another, there's a criminal to punish and a victim to protect accusing a man, and treating him like a monster and then finding out it was a false allegation is pure toxicity for the innocent man. Him being released isn't justice, it's the bare minimum. The authorities saying oops and moving on is ridiculous, and only guarantees that more evil women will exploit the lack of punishment. A man's measure of himself is how he can navigate his life, his duties, honor, responsibilities, and obligations, earning respect from his fellow man. His image of character and reputation, his value, his contributions to society, how he responds to his problems, and his ability to conquer his fears. Finally, what would he be known for after his final days have ended? A false allegation should carry the same punishment as the crime that was alleged. If someone is prepared to ruin someone's life like that, they should meet the same punishment they tried to falsely put on their victim. But our justice system is a joke, so criminals like this woman will continue to be treated with kid gloves. This is why I don't talk to women at work or engage with a woman unless it has to do specifically with work-related situations. I never talk alone with a woman at the workplace, and I most definitely never get romantically involved with one in any capacity. All it takes is one false accusation, and everything I've worked for gets destroyed, and I will be automatically considered guilty without any hope of true justice. That is the reality we live in now, where a woman's word weighs more than hard evidence. Women who are going to blame misogyny for this hiring freeze need to look inward, because it wasn't men who put them in this situation. Their own lack of policing bad behavior and blatant lying put them in this situation. Stay strong, kings. Don't fall into the trap of these harpies, and always be sure to cover your bases. Now, more than ever, is it easy for our whole lives to be destroyed by a few words. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.